My childhood home, a place of vibrant laughter and countless memories, completely vanished in a devastating blaze last year. Yet elderly Mrs. Gable across the street insists she still sees lights flicker in its charred remains every single night. I tried to dismiss her claims as an old woman's confusion, or perhaps a trick of the moonlight on the warped metal, but her unwavering conviction really chills me to my absolute core lately. Last week, she called me absolutely trembling, swearing a distinct shadow passed behind one of the broken windows, moving with a strange, deliberate slowness that left her utterly breathless with pure dread. I remember the layout of my old bedroom perfectly, and the flickering light Mrs. Gable describes is exactly where my nightlight used to glow, a detail she couldn't possibly know about.
Sometimes, late at night, I find myself staring out my own window towards the desolate lot where our family home once proudly stood, feeling an undeniable, unnerving pull to investigate closely. My logical brain screams that it's just residual embers or perhaps some trick of perspective, yet a primal fear gnaws at my gut, whispering of something far more sinister lingering there. I drove by very slowly yesterday evening, and for a fleeting second, I swear I saw a distinct rhythmic pulse of light coming from the rubble, like a faint heartbeat. Now I can't shake the terrifying feeling that whatever caused the fire didn't completely leave, and perhaps it's still very much trapped within those burned, hollowed-out walls, waiting for an opportunity to reveal itself once again. Our old house, where I spent every summer laughing, burned down 3 years ago from an electrical short. But the elderly lady next door keeps calling me, convinced she sees my grandmother's bedside lamp glowing again. She describes a soft, consistent light, precisely from the window of the guest bedroom where my grandma always stayed when visiting, a detail I haven't mentioned to anyone since the fire. My dad tries to reassure her it's just imagination, maybe reflections, but her voice on the phone grows increasingly distressed, describing a subtle, rhythmic pulsing that never stops. I remember Grandma always kept that lamp on, even during the day sometimes, a comforting beacon that now feels like a terrifying, unwelcome presence in the destruction.
What if it's not some weird reflection, but actually something that remained, clinging to the familiar comfort of the electrical current it once used before everything changed forever? I drove past late last night, creeping slowly, and I swear, just for a fleeting moment, I saw a faint, warm, yellowish glow precisely where her bedroom window used to be visible. The sight sent a freezing dread straight through me, an unsettling confirmation that perhaps Mrs. Henderson wasn't just suffering from some common, understandable old age delusion after all. Now, every time my phone rings late at night, I half expect her frantic voice, detailing another sighting from the vacant shell of what was once my vibrant, loving family home.
The house where I grew up, holding generations of family secrets and joyful memories, tragically burned down to its foundations 5 years ago. Yet locals consistently report seeing a dim light on inside. My cousin, who lives a few streets away, initially laughed it off as optical illusions or just people being overly superstitious about a tragic accident in the neighborhood. However, his casual dismissiveness completely changed when his own young daughter, unprompted, asked him why the broken house had a bright flashlight inside yesterday evening after sunset. The consistent reports all describe a light appearing specifically in what used to be my parents' master bedroom window, an area completely consumed by the devastating inferno's very core.
I keep trying to rationalize it away, thinking maybe animals brought in reflective debris, but the sheer consistency of the sightings, always in the same exact spot, feels deeply unnatural. It's like a persistent, terrifying reminder that something from our past refuses to completely vanish, lingering in the ghostly shell of what was once our vibrant, bustling family home. Part of me desperately wants to visit at night, to stand before the desolate remains and confront this unsettling mystery head-on, hoping for a logical, comforting explanation for the reports. However, the greater, more primal part of my very being recoils from the terrifying thought of what I might actually truly find if I were to actually look too closely in the dark.
Our family home, which unfortunately burned completely to the ground during a terrible winter storm 2 years ago, somehow still manages to have reports of flickering lights coming from its exact location. My childhood best friend, who still lives just down the street, messaged me last night saying he definitely saw a very distinct light in the downstairs living room area. He even took a grainy, blurry photo, and though it's hard to make out, there is undeniably a small yellowish glow present amidst the charred rubble of our old fireplace. That fireplace was the heart of our home, always radiating warmth and family comfort. So seeing a light there now feels like a particularly cruel and deeply disturbing betrayal.
My rational mind insists it must be some kind of optical illusion, perhaps headlights from cars on the main road, creating bizarre, unsettling reflections in the broken glass. However, the way his voice trembled in his voice message, truly convinced of what he saw, makes me question every logical explanation I can possibly try to conjure up now. What if something or someone was trapped during the inferno and is still attempting to signal from within the charred remains? A desperate, silent plea for someone to finally see. The thought that my family members, or even a cherished pet, could be endlessly signaling from that desolate shell fills me with an overwhelming, suffocating wave of utter horror. Our family farm, where I experienced a truly idyllic childhood, was completely destroyed by an out-of-control brush fire 3 years ago, yet the new property owners insist they see lights. They're attempting to rebuild on the cleared land now, but every few weeks they call me, clearly disturbed, describing strange, intermittent glows coming from the exact former kitchen area. The kitchen was always the heart of our home, constantly bustling with activity, but now it seems to be attracting something far more sinister, something that simply refuses to ever leave. They even sent me a video, shaky and dark, but you can clearly see a faint white orb of light hovering briefly where our old stove used to stand, then vanishing suddenly. I keep trying to think of logical explanations, like flashlight beams from curious passersby, or even reflections from passing vehicles, but the consistency of the location is deeply unsettling. What if the fire awakened something ancient beneath the farm, something connected to the land itself, and it now manifests as these eerie, inexplicable lights in the wreckage? My great-grandmother used to tell stories of whispers in the ground on that land, a local legend I dismissed as mere folklore. But now, I'm genuinely not so sure anymore. The idea that my childhood haven is now a place of unsettling paranormal activity, constantly haunted by these unexplained glowing phenomena, absolutely fills me with a cold, paralyzing dread. My childhood home, a beloved sanctuary full of happy memories, was completely destroyed by a devastating, inexplicable fire just 6 months ago, yet people report seeing familiar lights on inside. My younger sister, who lives directly across the street, texts me almost daily with a screenshot of neighborhood chat groups showing various claims about unusual light activities. The most frequent reports consistently point to my old bedroom window, a spot where a cherished antique lantern used to perpetually cast a very comforting, warm glow. Now, picturing that exact spot, seeing a light there again, not from my lantern, but something else entirely, sends an icy shiver right down my spine,
unsettling every single nerve. The fire investigators ruled it accidental, but some neighbors always whispered about its mysterious origins, hinting at something far more sinister lingering in the very air. I try to believe it's just community rumors fueled by imagination, but the sheer volume of independent sightings, each describing the same unnerving phenomenon, becomes impossible to ignore. What if the fire wasn't an accident at all, but a deliberate act that somehow inadvertently disturbed something ancient and malevolent, now awakened and trapped within those ruins? The thought of my beloved childhood sanctuary now serving as a beacon for some unknown, unsettling entity absolutely terrifies me, making me never want to drive past it again, ever.